Hi, hello, it is Pip here from queenpipcards.com, welcoming you to another Moody Monday pick-me-up video. Although it's quite bright here today, the sun is shining, it looks like spring's arrived again, so maybe we're not quite so moody today, I don't know. It's still a Monday. So for those of you back at work today, I thought I would jump on and do my normal Moody Monday pick-me-up video. And today we are chatting about florals, and we're also talking about all of the things that you can get from me, Queen Pip, in terms of what I do, because you might not know what I do. So I thought I would tell you. And the whole theme of this week is things that you can do with Queen Pip, so in the nicest possible way. So today we're talking about retreats. So I've got a brochure here to show you. This is the new garden suite that is currently being built. It will be finished in middle of next month, and we are retreating here on the 11th and 12th of May. So this is at the Gorse Hill Meeting, Conferencing and Training Centre in Surrey. So it's the first time we've been to this event, to this location. My April retreat is fully booked, so no more spaces available at Eversley, but this retreat still has a few spaces available. So I just thought I would share it with you, show you where we're going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, hi Lola. Lola's joined us. Nice to see you. Because I love my retreats. They are the highlight of my year. And so I thought I would just give you an idea of where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing. So this year I have decided that we are going to use the painted glass bundle, so that's the stamp set and the thin lit dies, which are glorious, and then I'm pairing it with Wonderful Romance because I just thought that those went well together. So it's going to be florally but stained glass windows, classic and a bit contemporary at the same time. So yeah, you get £115 worth in your goodie bag, plus prizes, plus other stuff. Lots of fun. And so yeah, that's what we're doing for retreat. So today I thought I would use one of the stamp sets that we're going to be using in retreat, but use it for a different card. Okay, so hi, Barry or Jay is on. Hello lads, nice to see you. And I thought I would pair it with the fabulous, glorious Country Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions folder, which is just fabulous. It's one of our new thick ones. Okay, so it's very thick. You only need one plate to put it through, and it creates the most amazing, fabulous deep embossing impression. So we're going to look at that today. The other thing that I thought we would look at is this paper. I've only got a couple of strips of this paper with me. I don't know what I did with that. Why didn't I bring the rest of it out? It's a bit all chopped up in my in my packet that I have here. So you're seeing a mixture of designs here, but this is the, what's it called, Petal Promenade papers, and these are currently on special with Celebration, so you can get these free with a £45 order, and they're just so florally that sometimes it's a little bit scary to use something that's quite so floral. I mean, look at that. It's just like a glut of roses, isn't it? Gorgeous. And this one, they are beautiful papers, great for weddings and engagements and all that kind of stuff. Some people are slightly worried about the cabbages, but I have it on good authority that cabbages are a good filler for a floral display. So there you go. They also have these panels in them, so they have entire pages that have all of these pre-cut panels for you. So you just need to put sentiments in the middle, and it's a very quick and easy card that you can use. You can make some square note cards or some ordinary note card sizes. And on the back you've got things like marble and foil effects, which is great. Really beautiful. I love this one. Love that one very much. Okay, and there's another. This is kind of like a white marble. Can you see that? Okay, is it too dark in here again? I got my lights wrong again. That's a bit better. So so yes, it's lovely, and as you can see, I have used it quite a lot and chopped it up. Oh, and you get these ones as well. So these like wreaths, floral wreaths, they're nice too. I have chopped it up quite a lot, so I thought I would use some of my scraps today because I like to use up all of my designer series paper. There's no point having it if you don't use it. As my friend Kylie says, chop it to pieces. Love it, chop it. So there's absolutely no point. And I know that lots and lots and lots of you have papers at home that you just sit and look at and stroke. And, you know, I understand. I really do. But the best thing to do with glorious paper like this is to give it away. So, oh, good. Barry says that or Jay, it might be Jay, but I think it's Barry, says that the lighting is good. So that's cool. Thank you very much. So I'm just taking 2 strips of this. Now, these are strips that have come off from when I cut my standard size pieces out of it. And I'm going to pair those. They're going to be kind of like the colour bases that I'm using with my floral Wonderful Romance and my Country Floral embossing folder. So I haven't actually designed these cards yet. Shock horror. We're going to go on the fly. I have done a little bit of work, I have to say. I've done some pre-cutting. Okay, where are they? There's the rest of them. They must be in there somewhere. And I've got some colours out, so I thought I would use, now technically it's petal pink, but I quite like powder pink with it, and I still think it matches well. So powder pink and mossy meadow. Here's Barry. I thought it might be. Powder pink and mossy meadow are the 2 colours that I'm going to be using. Here we go. So I've pre-cut some stuff. I've got some strips. I've got some embossed pieces. I mean, just look at the detail that you get on these embossing pieces. Aren't they just gorgeous? I've done them in 3 different colours so that you can see how they look. This is the Whisper White. And sometimes the deep embossing folders crease the paper, but this hasn't. It's just left a fabulous, amazing texture. Same with the Very Vanilla, glorious. And then I've done the Mossy Meadow, and it's just hard to describe really how deep those impressions are unless you see it. Hey, Carol's joined us. Hi, Carol. But yeah, it's just, they're so deep and they're so gorgeous that they need to be kind of like the highlight of the show. So I was going to do lots of stamping and this, that, and the other. And I still might do some stamping, but I thought actually one card just needs to show off at least that beautiful, beautiful embossing folder. So that was the word I was looking for. So I've gone with a Very Vanilla base. This is my normal size that I've cut 10-fold. So that's an A4 cut in half this way at 10.5 with the short edge at the top of the trimmer. Fold it in half at 14.9 and it gives you a front. I managed to get some gloopy stuff on that. I don't know where that's come from, but it doesn't matter because we're going to cover it up. And I'm just going to go straight on with my embossed piece. Now, when you emboss something, it will shrink your cardstock a little bit. So whereas I would normally just cut this immediately to 14.4 because that's what my layer was, I'm going to just check to see whether that still is true, because there's nothing worse than having a bit sticking over the top. So I'm just going to line up with my trimmer, okay, and you're going to line up with where the blade goes, which is pretty much down the center of this groove, okay. And I'm just going to check and see how that is. And actually that's not bad. It hasn't shrunk it that much. It's still about 14.4, which means I can just take this piece, and I think I wanted that edge. Which edge do I want down? This is where you get to choose which color bits you want. No, I think it's going to have to go, it's got to go that way. So 14.4. And as I say, this isn't offcut from when I've cut my DSP, but it's going to be about 3 and a bit centimeters. Yeah, just over 3 centimeters that is. So you could make it 3, take a smidgy off, or you could make it 3.5, add a smidgy on. It's up to you. And then I have also got here again some Very Vanilla offcuts from the edge of doing stuff. These are 4 4 centimeters. So I thought, well, that would make a great pairing. So I'm just using things that I've already got in my craft room, already cut up, not cutting up anything new, but I've decided that I'm going to make that as my matte layer. And Sandra's here. Hey Sandra, nice to see you today. Oh, I've got comments, hold on. And Wendy's on. Hello Wendy, how are you? Good, I hope. Excellent. And you shared me, bless you. Thank you for sharing. I love people who share me. Sharing's always good. We like sharing. After all, we're a caring, sharing company. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So I'm just going to use some multi-purpose glue straight onto the back of my country floral embossing. And we're going to need quite a lot. And some of these holes, this hole here, for example, that's not going to stick necessarily because it's so deep. So try and get some of the flattened pieces a little bit more with your glue this time than I normally would, just so that you can make sure that it sticks down. There we go. So that's nice, that's on there. Excellent. It's a little bit over, but I can cope with that because we're going to border it anyway. So then I'm going to put a border on here. Now I see I checked that size, but I didn't check the piece of paper, and that is slightly long. So let's chop this. 14.4. Oh, it's minuscule. I might do that by hand. I may do that by hand because I can be a bit more accurate like that because it's so small. Okay, so then I'm just gluing down the base, the back of my DSP, and this has got to be one of the simplest cards, I think you'll agree, that we've done. I mean, I know last week was simple because we just did some stamping, and thank you so much for all your lovely comments about last week. I'm really glad that you loved that so much. I have to say it was a real favourite card of mine as well, the using the painted seasons. There's something about blue and white that's just classic and lovely. Okay, so we're going to get that in. Again, I've gone a little bit further over this way, but I don't think I mind. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just following the edge of that paper because now I've got somewhere to follow, and it really is just a tiny amount that I'm taking off. There we go. So don't be afraid to get your snips out. That's what I say. Okay, so next. Barry says, you can't stop, looks amazing already, love the paper, and even better now it's free. Yes, it is indeed, Whoop indeed. Thank you, Barry, I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so that's where that's going to go. And then the next thing that we have to decide is whether we are going to go with ribbon or no ribbon. I'm thinking ribbon, but I'm thinking it needs to be, because it's vanilla, I like the brown of this. I like the brown of the, oh yeah, see, I think that burlap goes nicely. Because the other ribbon that you could put with it would be the powder pink, maybe. But then I think that's just a little bit, for this one, yeah, no, I'm thinking burlap. What do we think, guys? We think burlap? I think burlap. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And then we'll go with that. Okay, and then all I'm going to do for this one is just literally stamp the words. And these are from the Wonderful Romance stamp set, which you'll get as part of your retreat pack. So I'm just going to stamp Thinking of You, and I've already cut this out. This is from the matching die set, which you get the painted glass and stained glass thinlits in your pack, so you don't get the matching Wonderful Romance framelits, but you can purchase them separately. We'll be using them at retreat, but you'll just borrow mine. But this is one of the beautiful what's that? It's a shape, but it's a special shape. It's like a sentiment shape, if you know what I mean. I don't know, I'll think of the words in a minute. There we go, Thinking of You. And then I'm going to add just a few. I'm going to add a few in Petal Pink. Now I don't have a large ink, shock horror, I don't have a large ink pad, Petal Pink, but I do have one of these little uninked spots. And I can just pop Just pop a few. It's really hard to see because Petal Pink is so pale, but I'm just adding a little bit of decoration around the outside of that. Okay, I think that's cool. So I don't know if you can see, oh, it's a bit shiny. Don't know if you can see any of that. I can get it darker a bit. Whether you can see that I've actually stamped some little flowers around there. Cool. Carol says she loves the burlap. Yes, I think the burlap is the way to go. Okay, so now we've done our little Petal Pink flowers and our sentiment, we're going to put it all together. And you'll see I use this layout lots just because it's so easy, and it uses the pieces that you've already trimmed off from either the paper or the cardstock that you've used. So it's just a great way of using up your DSP and your offcuts from your card cutting to get your layers. Now, because this is going to go onto embossed elements, you're going to have to hold it a bit because you've got to hold it in contact with the embossed pieces. So just kind of hold it a little bit, chat amongst your friends. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Thelma's on. Ah, see, you're going to like this one, I think, Thelma. There we go. So yeah, so that should hold then in place. You could use tape as well. You'll get a bit more bobbly with tape because it will pull it down a bit more. Then we're going to go for some burlap. And then the question is, do we do, oh, I think we do a straight edge at this side. So I like mixing that up. So it's not necessarily that you have to do, you know, a diagonal at both sides. You can have a straight and then a pointy bit. I like that rose though. It's a shame I'm going to cover that rose up, but if I put it down there, I'm not going to cover it up too bad because that kind of mirrors that. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so for this we are going to use some tape. So I've got my, thankfully I've ordered myself a new bit of tear tape because this bit's running out. And normally I would say don't put it on your burlap because it's harder to get off, but I wasn't quite sure where that was going to go down on the card, so I'm going to go for it, and you're going to have to hope with me that I managed to get it off in one piece. Yeah, look at that. So phew, that's good. Okay, so we're going to pop that down just down about there. Okay, and then we're going to pop that on top there. Now this definitely needs dimension, so we're going to go with dimensionals, and this I want to make sure because we're going to need probably yeah, the dimension on this side is going to probably make it about the same layer as over there, so we might need a couple on that side. Let's go and see. I'm going to put one up there. That will make it that high. Ooh, it might need to come up a little higher. Yeah, that's okay. Alrighty, so then I'll put one down here, and we'll stick one over here, but I think we might need to raise that one up because it might not actually, see, it doesn't actually touch the ground. So in that case, what I would do is I would put a smaller one in the middle because our mini dimensionals are just slightly lower than our big dimensionals, if that makes sense. So that should just about offset the height difference and then make that pretty much the same. Help if I made that a little straighter. There we go. So there we are. That's our first card done. What do we think about that? Oh, we've got comments and comments. Hello. Oh, Twinny's on. Hi, Twinny. Nice to see you. And Aya, hello. How are you? I hope you're having a great Monday. Well, that's why I'm here. Bit of pick me up Moody Monday video just to make sure that everyone does have a fabulous Monday. So yes, that's exactly what we're doing. So oh, thanks, sweetie. We got some hearts going on there. So yeah, so that's my first card. Really simple. It isn't one of the designs that we'll be making at retreat, but it does use the same stamp set, the wonderful romance stamp set. So we will be using this one on cards, but not this particular design. So yeah, there we go. So that's the first one. And then I thought, do you know what, let's change it up a little bit, because oh, thanks Carol, glad you like the card, that's good. Because I thought the next piece of paper that I'm looking at is this one, and it's very different. You can see the difference in the colours. I mean, there's petal pink in there, but there's definitely a more powder pinky or even Highland Heather in here, I feel. So I thought it needed different colourways. So I thought, right, let's go powder pink, and then we have a design decision to make. Okay, so I've got some smoky slate here because I think the smoky slate will look really nice behind, because it goes well with the pink. I've got a crunchy corner. Let's get that out of the way. Get that around the right way. There we go. The design decision is, do we go with plain white and do some more stamping, or do we go with embossed white and then I don't really have to do anything? That's the decision. What do we think? I mean, I'm kind of liking it like that. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Velma. Thanks. I'm glad you like the card. So give us your thoughts. What do you think? Should we just do another one, another version of that, but with white? Or should we take the country florals off, sniff, sniff, pop some white in and do a bit more stamping? I really don't know. I'm at your mercy, guys. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's what I like about this Facebook Live. I can just kind of like ask you things, and then you can answer me. So that makes it great. It's like being at class. We had such a great time at class on Saturday with the mixed media class in the afternoon. It was a hoot, and it was great fun to see people who had never done any mixed media before really, really loving it. So yeah, I really liked that class on Saturday. And really, it's a shame that I haven't got any more kind of like wow classes coming up, because my wow classes are going to be my retreat in April and May. So it'll be at the end of April and then at the beginning of May for my retreats this year. And really, they have a lot of wow classes that go into them. So we do a lot of fun things at retreat. So sadly, there's nothing that you can come and see, you know, close by. But I think I think I'll be sharing lots. That's the good thing. So now I can always do some wow stuff on here as well. So that's good. Okay, I've got comments coming in. We've got embossed white. You could cut a panel of the embossed piece and a normal white piece and get the best. The embossed white or cream would make a lovely wedding card. Yes, it would make a lovely wedding card, which, you know, that would be, you know, thinking of you would be good, but also in the celebrate, in the painted glass, there's this lovely sentiment that says a reason to celebrate. So we could even bring that in. Oh, should we bring that in? That might be different, mightn't it? We could do that. I'm sure it will fit that. Reason to celebrate. Now this one doesn't have any words on the back, because it's one of the pre-cling mount, but you know, I can cope with that, I think, because it's kind of an oval, so it doesn't really matter if it's particularly straight. So will it fit? Oh, it will fit. Okay, so let's see. We definitely, it seems like we definitely want some of the embossing, but we're also thinking, oh, well done with the embossing. We're also thinking maybe having some stamping too. Do you think if we put this under here like this and then had some, yeah, I'm not sure it's going to show up enough though. That's the problem. If we only have half of it, I don't think it will show up enough. I don't know if we do half this way. Maybe we turn the card all the way around. We could do half embossed this side and then a piece of colour in the middle, but I'm still not sure. I think it's going to have to be all the way or nothing. I'm going to go all the way. But I'm going to change the sentiment because I like Carol's idea of a wedding card. So let's go with that. So we'll do that. We're going to go powder pink. So I'm going to change my ink pad. And we will use powder pink because there's not really any dark green in there. So let's do that. But we're going to change the sentiment up. I like this. I like this stamping on the fly business. Okay, so because I haven't got, because this isn't a cling mount stamp, so I don't have the words on the back. Now I have to work out whether the sentiment is straight with the edge of the rubber, and it pretty much is. So if I go straight with the edge of the rubber, I shouldn't be too far wrong. Hold it. Yay, that's okay. And actually that's quite nice. It's nice and pale, but it goes, I think, well with the card. We need some bling, I think, on this. We'll have to add some bling. Now, the thing you can do with this embossing is you can actually pick out some of the flowers and actually emboss them with a colour. So I'm going to show you just how we do that, but I'm not sure I actually want to keep it. So just because, you know, it's me and I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on this little flower down here so we can hide it if we need to. But you just pick some up with your Wink of Stella and you can just sort of paint the top of the flowers like this. And because it's such deep embossing, you really get the shape of the flower, and it's very difficult for you to go over the edges. So what do we think with that? Actually, I quite like that. I'm going to leave you to tell me whether you like that or not. And if we do, we might do some more. I just think this embossing folder has so many options with it. And that's my phone in the other room, so I'm just going to ignore that for a minute because I'm on here. And I should have switched it to silent and I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, it gets loud, doesn't it? How do I ever miss that when it's in my pocket? Okay. So what do we think? Do we like the colouring in of the embossed image or not? Let's turn it to a piece where you can kind of see. What do we think? It's difficult to see, isn't it, really, on this? It looks a lot better in real life, I can tell you that much. What do we think? Yes? No? Carol says she thinks it adds another dimension. Yep, I think it does. Let's see what it would look like if we had it on here behind. Supposing we turn that round and we had that on there behind and we had a bit of pink coming through like that. That's possible. We'd have to do a lot of it though, that's the only thing. I think I might do that another day because I think that would I might do one offline and show you what it looks like once I've painted all of it, because otherwise I think we might be here all afternoon. Which, you know, is nice, but I think for the just so that you actually just get some lunch and then manage to get back to doing whatever it is you were doing, I think probably not a good idea to just keep going with that. I think you could do all of these flowers. There are so many flowers that you could do. I'm just going to turn this down a smidge. Let's turn that up a second. Can you see that a bit better on the darkness? No, probably not actually. Turn it on and turn it down a bit. Can you see how many of those flowers there are that you could do? It would just, I mean, it's lovely, but I think you would need to do all of it. I don't think you could just pick out one or two. Yeah, you could also do it with a brayer. So you could actually put the ink or a dauber, you could ink up the actual embossing folder before you ran it through. That's another way that you can get colour onto your embossing. So I might do that too and show you how that looks. Somebody really, really wants to get hold of me, don't they? Because now they're calling me on my landline. Great, go away. There we go. Honestly, if it's not lights, it's the phone going. Don't people know I'm doing a Facebook Live? Where are they? What are they doing? Why aren't they watching me? So, anyway, I digress. So we're going to chop this down again. We're going to pop this back up, but I'm going to put in some more fancy ribbon that I think would go with a wedding theme a bit better. Like that. This, I think, matches better, don't you think? We could put quite a lot of that in. We could even possibly tie a bow. We could tie a bow. It's a bit flouncy, so you have to kind of, you know, wrestle it. But once you've wrestled it, it looks quite nice in a double, I think in a double loop. with two tails hanging over this side. Yeah, that'll look good. So again, I'm going to measure it just to make sure that nothing has changed and that it hasn't shrunk. This one's a smaller cut because it's the second layer down. So this is my 13.9 cut. So I'm just going to check, and it has actually gone down to 13.8. So I'm just going to chop that at 13.8. So that's interesting that the thinner cardstock does actually compress a little, which is kind of what I expected, versus the thicker cardstock which stayed the same size. There we go. That looks good there. So, oh, now do we do the ribbon underneath or over the top? Now I'm thinking over the top. Right, let's start assembling. Hit my glue back. So what do we think of these two sets? I think they're nice. Painted Glass is in the main catalogue, and it's one that I didn't actually get when the main catalogue first came out, but since I've been working with it for Retreat, because I decided to do this one instead of Butterfly Gala when Butterfly Gala went offline, I thought, okay, let's go with something different. So we went with Painted Glass because I suddenly thought, actually the two of those together would work really well, I think. And I'm absolutely, you know, love the different possibilities that you can do with these. And I know that this one's been a very popular celebration choice, this embossing folder, and I really see why. So every time you spend £45, you get to choose something for free. And I have to say, if you're thinking of buying anything this month, this is going to be one of my go-to items, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if it didn't sell out. So we've already had the frogs sell out last week, and then over this weekend, or just Friday I think it was, the cupcakes have sold out. I would not be surprised at all if this didn't sell out too, because it is such a gorgeous embossing folder. Okay, so we're going to do that. You could thread the ribbon through the holes in the centre. Oh, I like that. Now that is a good idea. Like this. We could. Do you mean going in and out like this all the way around it? Or just, because I think that might be a bit bumpy. But we could certainly go through, let's see, which one would we do? That one or that one? Probably both, actually. Yeah, let's do both. Let's go in this side. There. And then out this one. Ooh, come on. Now you're tasking me, aren't you? Now you're tackling me. You're going, come on, let's make her work. Okay, so we do this, and then we come back in through, oh no, I've gone too far. Let's go next one up. That's better. Of course, it does show slightly that my stamping is crooked, but we'll live with that because it is a good idea. And then we can come back in through, if we came back in through this one, it wouldn't show up quite so much. And then come in through this one, so it's actually tighter at one end than the other. Quite like that idea. Ooh, what do we think to that? Do we leave it as a loop though? Actually, do you know what I really like? I think what I would really like, which I think would look really good, is if it came out here, but then went back up through here. So it was underneath and over. Do you see what I mean? What do we think of that? So it was under at this point, but over at that point. I like that. That's nice. Yes, we like. Give me some. I'm going to sit here for a second and see what you think. Yeah. I like that. I think that looks really cool. and it gives a little bit more colour underneath to that piece as well. Of course, sticking it down is going to be interesting. Okay. So let's go with some tear tape. Tear and tape. Let's get that in there first. And this will then help to settle it down. You can also give it some direction, shall we say, as to where it's got to go. That helps. Yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it? Are we liking? I haven't seen any thumbs up or anything, but maybe I'm not. That looks great. Nice. Okay, good. Excellent. So we're going in the right direction. It's always helpful. I'm going to stick this down while I could remember. There we go. Make sure that I've got my card around the right way. Yes, indeed. Okay. Yeah, so the rest of this week we're going to be talking about my classes. We're going to be talking about my various things that I do, my WOW classes, my workshops that I do with other people. Sometimes I do things private for private groups and stuff. So we're going to talk about that a bit. But also classes and stuff, and you know, things that we do for team events and stuff like that. So we're just going to be chatting about various things. I'm going to just cut these off a little shorter, and then we're going to pop that up on dimensionals, and then I think we're pretty much done, don't you? I think so. And that's what I like. Nice, quick crafting. That's fun, easy to do, simple enough for you guys to, you know, just go away and go, I remember what she did. So you don't have to have any tricky tutorials or hard instructions or whatever. You can just go and play straight away. There we go. Let's have that there like that. There we go. What do you think? We like? Emma says she loves this. Hello, Emma. Nice to see you on here. Have you done your thingy yet? That's the burning question. I keep waiting. I keep checking my email. And I think we need some bling. So let's add a little bit of bling. Oh, these might be nice. I've got some of these frosted pearls. These might be very nice. lots of hearts coming up. I spotted those. I saw those now. I think some of these would be great. We could put, they're very heavy, so actually they might be a little bit heavy even for my marvelous pick-me-up tool. I think we could put like a whole row of them along here, like in a semicircle maybe. I reckon. Just so that we kind of following the oval, but not being too dictated, if you know what I mean. Okay, a little bit further over. How's that looking? This one needs to come over a bit. That's the great thing about the pick me up tool, or take your pick tool, is that we can move it around till it's right. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? Have a bit of bling there. And then we could even pop a couple around. Once I get started, I get a little carried away with my bling. I think bling's always a good thing. We can pop some in the middle of these flowers because they just fit perfectly in there. How many of those have we got? We've got 3. We need 3. We've got 2. I'm just going to pop one down over here. I don't care. I think we need one down here. Maybe down there. Which I think that one needs to come off of there. That's the great thing, you see, we can do that. I'm just going to pop that one over there. Like that. Perfect. There we go. I think I'm going to stop now because otherwise too much is you know, can be too much sometimes less is more. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes less is more. Right, okay, so let's bring back the other card in. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning, we've made 2 cards today at lunchtime. So here's thank you. Here's this one. This one's in Mossy Meadow with the slightly deeper pink of petal pink, a bit more orangey pink for this one. And this uses Thinking of You, which is from the wonderful Romance set, which is one of the sets we get on retreat. And then this one uses the same piece of paper in terms of pack, so it's the same paper pack, that's what I'm trying to say, but completely different colorway. And this uses the painted glass stamp set, which will also be used on retreat. So oh, Thelma says she's going to give it a go. Yes, go for it. I think it's lovely, and I really like this idea that Ilia had of putting the ribbon through the edge of this sentiment piece. Look at this die cut. That's great. This one uses burlap, Mossy Meadow. This one uses powder pink, which is the ruffled ribbon. And powder pink, of course, is one of our outgoing in colours, which is such a shame because I really love it. But yes, powder pink will be no more come June. So there you go. That's my Pick Me Up video today, tutorial for a Moody Monday. Hopefully you're feeling a little less moody now, because despite it being Monday, we can still do pretty things with cards. So I'll pop those up onto YouTube for you, so you'll be able to find them easily again. And yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please hashtag it, share it, hashtag Queen Pip Cards. Share it with your friends, share everybody, and let everybody know that they too can come here every Monday for a Moody Monday Pick Me Up video, and we'll chat all things crafty. And if you've got any questions, you know, don't forget you can still pop them in the comments throughout the week, and I will try and answer them if I can on a Monday. So thanks so much for being here. I've had real fun times this lunchtime. Thank you for taking part and helping me get this to the final position as they are, and I will see you again soon. Thanks ever so much, guys. Have a lovely day. Take care now. Bye bye.